Hello, thank you for joining us today on 5 Minute Review. My name is Jason McCormick, student at Colorado Mesa University. Today we're here to discuss a movie that I reviewed. That would be The Smartest Guys in the Room by Bethany McLean, Peter Elkin, and directed by Alex Gibney. The point that I want to express in this review is how well the movie and the story of Enron portrays what is discussed in Marianne Jennings' book, The 7 Signs of Ethical Collapse. When you look at those 7 signs and you examine the different events that are happening in Enron as expressed in the movie or in the book, you'll see how clearly these points come out that she portrays as we learned in the ethics course. The first one is pressure to maintain the numbers. And Enron was all about outperforming its previous month, its previous year, its previous quarter, making sure that the stock prices were up on a continual basis and they were growing as an organization. The next one was a fear of reprisal. There were tremendous amounts of in the organizational behavior in the organization. Either you performed and you were promoted and recognized, or you were not. Take for example the program that they had where those people who were ranked in the bottom 20% of the organization were removed from the organization. And in any group of people, 1 out of 5 people had to be removed because they were underperformers. And that just created a piranha tank of buyers and purchasers and traders on the floor and in various places of the organization that was trying to constantly outperform each other and led to unethical behavior. The next one point that comes up in the 7 signs has to deal with the loyalty to the boss, or the young'uns, and a bigger-than-life CEO. And you see that with regards to Ken Lay as well as Jeff Skilling. Just constantly getting up on a podium, presenting themselves in the media, just a larger-than-life type of people, and just constantly motivating and leading people down this path, but it's a path of deception. The next point that comes out in the book is a weak board of directors. You can see this in the movie, that whatever management brings to them, they believe, and they say that's great, and it's fine, and they support it. There's all kinds of conflicts of interest on the board. There's conflicts of interest within the organization, and that's point number 5 in the 7 signs of ethical collapse. The best example there is when the board approves for Andy Fastow to be the CFO and to be the director of the SPEs. And clearly a conflict of interest, and they suspend his conflict or his code of conduct that he was required to participate in. So he's excluded from this policy that everybody else in the organization is required to participate in. The next point is innovation like no other. And you see that clearly through Enron, from the beginning of the gas processes into broadband, into electricity, and they're constantly saying, you know, we're doing this in a new way, we're buying these reserves, and we're innovating in all kinds of ways. But yet, in reality, they weren't making any money, and it was just all being hid in the financial statements, being funded by the investments off the balance sheet in the SPEs. And finally, is goodness in some areas atone for evil in others. So they maintain a very strong presence in the Houston area, while they're just showing that they're doing all these great and wonderful things, and they're helping bring oil or natural gas or these services, and we're helping to decrease costs and covering that. In reality, when you look at the example in California, they were turning off the power, and they were causing the cost of electricity to go through the roof in order to come up with more money to fund the fraud that was going on. So as I watched the movie, it became very clear that these principles that Marianne Jennings puts out with regards to the 7 signs of ethical collapse are very true, and you can see them and see them in this movie, and you can watch for them in other organizations that you might in the future be involved with, whether you're auditing or you're doing tax or you're in the organization as an accountant or CFO. Watch for these signs because they're true, and we encourage you to watch the movie. You'll find many things that will benefit you and you'll identify those principles that were taught in the course. And I thank you for your time today.